Now, who said lasagna is only for dinner as a savory dish? For this coming holiday season, I'm going to mix it up with this delicious cherry cheesecake lasagna. G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. Cheesecake, cherries, lasagna. Three things you wouldn't think go together, but trust me, they do. So join me today as I make my version of a no-bake cherry cheesecake lasagna. And please check out toddskitchen.com for my fantastic merchandise. Now we're going to start this off by making a very simple base. So into a Ziploc bag, I've got some cookies here. Now any flavors will do, but for this recipe preferably something like say graham crackers or just something plain. You don't want to overpower the other flavors we're going to add to this recipe. Now you can use a food processor if you like, but I'm going to use a Ziploc bag. So just with a rolling pin, just bash them until we get to the nice fine consistency. Okay, next I've got a baking tray. Now I'm using a glass one because it's going to look so much better in glass. So to that we're going to add in our 2 cups worth of our cookies, and then half a cup, 110 grams or 1 stick of melted butter. And give that a very good mix through until all the butter's completely combined with our cookies. And once it's all combined, use the bottom of a cup, or in my case I'm just going to use what I melted the butter in, and we're just going to firmly compact everything down. And if you want to make it look a little bit better, we're just going to finish it off using the back of a spoon. Okay, so once done, we're going to place our cookie crumb base into the fridge while we get started on the next step. Okay, so the base is in the fridge, and now we're going to work on our second layer. Now these layers are incredibly simple. It's not like putting everything at once or doing different parts and then combining them. We're just going to layer them, which is why I love this recipe. So it actually works out a lot easier. So for this I'm going to use a stand mixer, but you can also use a hand mixer if you like. And to the stand mixer I'm going to add about 110 grams of softened cream cheese. And to that we're simply going to add 1 cup of powdered or icing sugar. And with our hand or stand mixer, we're going to mix it on low until everything is well combined. Just don't do too fast too soon, otherwise you're going to have icing sugar all over the place. And we're just going to increase the speed once it's mixed through, just to make sure we don't have any lumps left over from the icing sugar. And if you find it just accumulating just on the outside like so, just with a spatula, just make sure you just put it back into the bowl so everything mixes around properly. Okay, so I've taken our base out of the fridge. As you can see, it's all frosted over. So with our cream cheese mixture, just going to place it on top and just spread it out until it's nice and even. So we can finish off our second layer of our lovely lasagna. Now for our third layer, I'm going to use some pecan nuts. Now I'm going to use about a cup's worth, but you can use a bit more or a bit less if you like. So half of that I've not chopped. So we're going to put the full nuts, or whatever comes out as full nuts from a bag. And I'm going to fill the gaps up with some crushed up and chopped pecan nuts that I just have left over. So you get that big bite, but you also get the little bites as well. Okay, so now for our fourth delicious layer, we're going to add 1 cup of thickened cream or heavy cream or whipping cream. Then to that a teaspoon of vanilla extract, followed by a couple of tablespoons of powdered sugar. And we're just going to whisk this up until we get to the nice stiff peak stage. So we're just going to simply place our delicious cream filling on top. Now for our final ingredient, I'm going to use some cherries. Now make sure you get the cherries in the syrup because you want that thicker liquid consistency to pour on top. So first of all, we're going to place our cherries just into a bowl. Okay, so I'm doing it this way just so we can control how much liquid goes on top, how much of our syrup. So we're going to grab our cherries and with a strainer, just going to strain off the liquid, just so we don't put too much on top, and just place our cherries on top of our lasagna. And we're just going to use enough just to cover the entire top of our delicious cherry cheesecake lasagna. And would you look at how delicious this cherry cheesecake lasagna looks. Now it'll easily keep in the fridge for a couple of days, just make sure you keep it covered, so you can still have your usual Christmas dinner, or any dinner any time of the year of course, and still have your lasagna for dessert. So if you love cherries and cheesecake, this is a perfect treat. So you don't need to add any sides to this. Honestly, you've already got the fruit, you've got your side of cream, plus with the cream cheese and that delicious cookie base. But when you put all those together in this lovely cherry cheesecake lasagna, and you bite into this after a lovely meal, you'll know it tastes simply delish.